Do you think that white privilege exists?
Oh yeah.
Can,
Yes.
why do you?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Can you talk?
Because I mean the biggest thing, like when you talk about white privilege, even if you go back just like to World War II, after World War II, black soldiers who fought in World War II didn't get the GI Bill. White soldiers did. Those white soldiers used the GI Bill to buy houses and then pass that wealth down. But then on top of that, if you look, like, there are still racist people. As much as, like, we want to talk about, like, you know, being a post-race society, there was a lot of discussion about that. There are still racist people out there. Like, not all, just because you're white doesn't mean you automatically have an advantage, but, like, inherently, just based on how the country has progressed, the average white person starts off at a better starting point than the average black person. There's exceptions to every rule, but it's a sad fact in the United States.
Cooks, brother.
I think it's just inherent in the foundation of America. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Yeah, facts. Do you think that white privilege exists?
Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. And I just want to touch real quick on this article I came across earlier. It came out, 2 days ago, January 13th. And this was basically surrounding that whole incident that happened in New York City. I believe it was in Brooklyn, where you had those, JOOs that were, digging that underground secret tunnel, under some synagogue, which was illegal, right? It had a lot of sketchy things that were revealed, right? A bed, that had blood on it. You had a high chair for a toddler, and just a bunch of very very weird circumstance, right? And obviously it was illegal for them to be doing such, right? You had the cops came and stopped the whole process of it, and you had if I can remember correctly, you had a certain of the JOOs in there. They were basically like pushing back at the cops. You had that one guy that was seen coming out of the gutter, right? Like like Master Splinter in the Ninja Turtles. But nonetheless, when I was I seen this article and I was reading it, it just reminded me, of the scriptures, and it once again shows and proves who are truly the true people of the Most High, right? And this incident once again proves that they don't fit that bill, right? They don't fit the circumstances and the situation that the biblical Hebrew Israelites would be in these latter days, right? The reason why we would need a deliverer, right? The reason why we would need to be saved from the hand of our enemies, okay? Because those these JOOs, especially here in America, which we know that America is Babylon the Great, okay, the second revived Roman Empire, and as it tells us that the Israelites would be in a position of difficulty, right? They would be in a position here in Babylon the Great that would need saving, right? That's why in the book of Revelation, let me pull it up. Revelation, the 18th chapter, verse 20, it says, "Rejoice over her, thou heaven," and the her is Babylon the Great. This chapter is the vision that John the Revelator was given over the destruction of Babylon the Great. So it says, "Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her." See? So in Babylon the Great, the Lord is going to destroy Babylon the Great, which is America, because of one of the reasons is to judge America for the atrocities and the ill dealings that it has been doing on the Israelites from its inception. That's why it says, for at last the Most High has judged her for your sakes, right? Let's see if there's any cross references to that. Let's see. Let's go Revelation. Yep, Revelation 19:2. It says, for true and righteous are his judgments, for he hath judged the great whore, which the great whore is also spoken about in Revelation, the 17th chapter, that rides upon the beast, which the beast is the NATO and EU power structure, military, power structure, right? Which America is a part of, but, really controls, is the spearhead of it. It's kind of like when you hear, back in the day where they would talk about the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan, they would say Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Even though he was a part of the Chicago Bulls, he, was introduced he was introduced separately. And that is what the whore, the great whore that rideth upon a beast is likened unto, right? America, although it's a part of NATO, it's, it controls the way that NATO goes. Even today, when you have countries like Russia or China, they would mention NATO. They would say America and NATO, right? But America is a part of NATO. So it says, for he that hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. Okay, so those were just two quick precepts that shows that the Israelites would be getting redeemed out of Babylon the Great, the whore, and also the Lord was going to be judging Babylon the Great, America, because of how it has dealt, viciously against the Israelites. So that right there is an indicator, right? The biblical Hebrew Israelites will not be at peace. They won't be at rest. They won't have any type of, privilege in Babylon the Great. And that, reading this article, which we're going to get into, shows you that those JOOs, those small hats, they have all of those things, right? They have privilege, right? They have they are preferred. They have a security. They have safety to the point where they could, go up into a court and demand, a certain type of treatment. And Jake, the real Israelites, we get the book thrown at us at the court. Right. So let's read this. It says, Judge scolds, I'm not going to read the word, but you see it there. Students in bizarre scheme to build tunnel under New York City synagogue, blemish on the Chabad movement. See, so they got a scolding. Like there's some, children, right? Some adolescents. These are grown individuals that were doing this, these illegal acts. It says a Brooklyn judge on Monday berated a rebellious crew of that word JOOs, students charged with digging a secret tunnel under a prominent Crown Heights synagogue, even as four defiantly demanded a trial. Okay, and like I said, they could do that. They have that type of confidence, right? Because they know, and it's been shown time and time again that these JOOs have the mindset that they are above the American judicial system, right? And they are, because a lot of these judges are JOOs. A lot of the lawyers are definitely JOOs. So they have that privilege to do so, and that's why I also showed that clip in the beginning where you had that Jake going on the college campus, and he was asking college students if there's still Edomite privilege, all right, because that's what that is, right? No such thing as a white person or a black person, okay? There's just nations that go back to individual man, right? And the nation of Esau or the Edomites go back to Esau, okay? And through their deception, right, through them, changing landmarks, right, changing names because they're trying to hide themselves. Now they, put on that title as so-called white, all right? But like even as the elder Makama always references, that term white didn't come about until the late 1600s. So what were they called before that, right? And when you even go back even further, which that knowledge is already out there, right? And who the Edomites are. That wicked has been revealed, and that's why you got guys like Vocab Malone that is, fighting tooth and nail, trying to disprove, the existence of Esau, Edom, but he fails every time, and that's really because he doesn't want to be tied to the judgment, right? That the Lord has on Edom when Yahushua returns. Okay, and the chief of Esau, Edom, is who? Amalek. Okay, as it says in the book of Numbers, right? It says, if these young gentlemen, if these kids think they're exercising kids, you see? Now, when you have a certain type of accusation or a certain type of suspect that is of an Israelite, right? They don't get called, kids. They'll get, they'll be said, oh, this man, young man, right? And that's all in the perception of the narrative. When you state these things, right? A lot of times they'll say thugs or these, hoodlums or X, Y, and Z or this man. It would be a 17-year-old, but they'll say this man, right? This young man. But for these guys, right, and you're going to see them, they're not kids, right? These are grown-ass men. But it's the narrative that is being pushed. Because when you see kids, you're thinking, oh, man, they're just kids. They don't really know any better. They're just goofing around. They still need some guidance. They still need to grow up. So then in your mind, you automatically want to give them the benefit of the doubt. You see? So it says, if these young gentlemen, if these kids think they're exercising power over this court, they are sadly mistaken. Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Adam Perlmutter said in court, wouldn't be surprised if he's a small hat himself. You're a shame to your family. You're a shame to the worldwide Chabad movement. 2 of the accused students had their cases adjourned and will have the charges dismissed if they refrain from any more digging underneath the Chabad Lubavitch world headquarters at 770 Eastern Parkway and stay out of trouble for the next 6 months. You see? Not even a slap on the wrist. Okay? All they got to do is just don't do nothing, and this just goes away. Right? And it's not going to be on your criminal profile, right? It's not going to be on your on your file. It's not going to mess you up in life. None of these things. You see? These are them right here. These ain't kids. It says most of the others pleaded guilty to reduced criminal mischief charges and agreed to refrain from any, quote, destructive activity at the temple for the next 3 years while paying $200 in restitution. $200 in restitution. You got to pay more if you get a speeding ticket, man, with the court fees and all these other fees that they charge you, or a parking ticket. But all they had to do was pay $200 and refrain from any destructive activity. Meanwhile, this is a criminal mischief charge. right? Digging tunnels underneath New York City public property. But the others, Yisrael, I'm not even gonna pronounce these guys' names. But the last one, Yaakov Rothschild, and we know what that word Rothschild goes back to. Okay, red shield. All right, the proof is in their name, red shield, because Edom, right, goes back to red, and that's what these individuals are. Like I said before, there is no such thing as a so-called white person. Matter of fact, when you look at all of their shirts, right, their shirts are white. Look a little dirty around that collar, but that's just them being Amalek, just being Amalek. But when you look at their shirts are white. Their skin is not white. Okay, their skin is a shade of red because of their blood, especially this guy right here, right? He definitely red, but they're not white skinned. All right, so it says refused to take the deals and are now due to stand trial and could face prison time. And they're not going to face any prison time. Okay. It says at a court hearing in October, Rothschild told the Post that a 3-year ban from the temple, as prosecutors were offering as a condition of a plea deal at the time, was unacceptable. Being banned from 70/70 for 3 years is worse than jail, he said. The bizarre case came to light in January 2024, so a year ago, when news broke of the tunnel underneath the synagogue, the holiest of the temples of the worldwide Chabad movement. Yeah, definitely not holy in the sense of righteous. It says when the cops showed up, they found students trying to hide out inside the underground hideout and got into a scuffle with the police when they tried to get them out. Hey, well, you putting hands, on a police officer, isn't that a felony, right? Assaulting a public officer. Okay, but those charges are not even going to make it past the precinct. The student claimed they were seeking to expand the sanctuary as Rabbi, the Chabad Rabbi called for his death, before his death in 1994. The goal of everything was to expand 77 a year plus ago. Student Mendel, one of the suspects who was lectured by the judge, said Monday, "We weren't successful. We were hoping to expand or at least draw attention to the cause." The judge was saying if the rabbi wanted the Chabad expanded, he would have gotten the money, whatever. There was fundraising money and there were permits and everything. But there were a couple of people for their own selfish purposes that don't want the synagogue to expand and are stopping it because they have some power in the legal system, he said. He said those people don't represent the Chabad movement. However, the judge wasn't buying it. It is not becoming of followers of the JOO faith, JOO-ish faith in a synagogue, Perlmutter said in court. If you want to expand 770, they know how to do it. They built buildings all over the world. Hey, when isn't that the scripture says that they fill the face of cities, right? That they in their inward thought is that their houses shall dwell forever. It says they know it involved raising money, getting building permits, adjusting the zoning laws as necessary. There you go. Fucking, can't say too much, but you see it. You are a blemish on the Chabad movement as far as I'm concerned. Meanwhile, the plea deals offered by the prosecutor on Monday forbade the students from continuing to dig under the temple and adjoining space reserved for women. The deals do not bar them from the building. However, if the students who took the plea deals violate the terms, they will be banned from setting foot at the synagogue for 5 years, the judge warned. And like I said, not even a slap on the wrist, right? No jail time, no, heavy pin, money having to be paid. They don't even have to pay for the destruction of what the tunnels that they were building. It was $200. See? But like I said, when I was looking at this and I seen that clip I seen earlier today, which I put in the beginning, it just goes to show you that who Esau Edom is, and the fact that these Amalekites, right, that are portraying themselves as being the Lord's people, they don't fit that bill. Okay, they're not underneath any of these curses, right? They're not in trouble. Matter of fact, let me get it. What is that? Psalms 73, verse. Let's start at 3. It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm." You see, and that's why they could, be at the court and not have any worry in the world, right? Just getting a lecture from the judge. Verse 5 is the point. It says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." In the NLT, it says, "They don't have troubles like other people. They're not plagued with problems like everyone else." Okay? That's a fact, man. Okay, they can just do a bunch of debauchery. I mean, you see what was happening over there in Gaza, right? The whole world was calling what they did a genocide, and yet there's no retribution, no punishment for that. You have Bibi, right? That guy in an arrest warrant out for his arrest from the ICC, and then you got America that sanctioned the ICC for putting out an arrest warrant for Bibi. Once again, America being Babylon the Great, but yet the biggest supporter of the state of the 48ers. Where is that in biblical prophecy that the people of God, right, were going to be supported greatly, was going to be the biggest ally to Babylon the Great? That's completely opposite of what the scriptures would say. We're going to need deliverance from Babylon the Great. But yet Babylon the Great delivers the 48ers out of their troubles. And the ones that are here in America, they can do all type of illegal activity and not get any penalization for it. And that right there, this whole situation is proof of that, man. So this is what they fit. They fit the prosperity of the wicked. And like I said, it starts with Amalek, but ultimately all of Esau. Esau goes around doing unrighteous dealings, right? Getting riches by deceit, and they hold themselves not guilty. Nobody, they do these things and they're just completely, go away scot-free. But this is why we are waiting for the righteous judge. Because as it says in Habakkuk, that wrong judgment, the law is slacked and wrong judgment proceedeth. So when Yahushua comes, who the Heavenly Father set up as the judge, right, that all has to be presented before him, he going to judge according to righteousness. And that's not going to be good news for you Edomites, man, especially you Amalekites. See, verse 6, it says, "Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violent garments," violence covers them as a garment. It says they wear pride like a jeweled necklace and clothe themselves with cruelty. These fat cats have everything their hearts could ever wish for. And that's a fact, man. See, as it says in James, they heaped themselves up treasure. But the Lord said that he sees his day coming, man. And that's ultimately what we are waiting for. As it says in Revelation, here is the faith and the patience of the saints. You're not going to just get away and keep doing all this wickedness and thinking you're just going to get away with it. Nah, the Lord, the Lord sees your day coming, man. Okay. I think it was verse 12. It says, behold, these are ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. And we already know who controls the banks, right? Who controls all of these institutions, right? Who has the operations of the world's, governments in their hands. And they prosper in this world because this is their world. But we're at the end of it. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So I pretty much end it there. I just wanted to touch on this because, like I said, this is just another source of proof that showcases that these Amalekites are not the chosen people of the Most High, because they get away with literally murder, right? They get away with doing wickedness and breaking laws, even Esau's own laws, America's own laws. They can break those and nothing, happens to them. They can break world international laws, right? Like the 48ers have been doing. Okay, so with that, Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect. But the thing is, Salaki, before I say that, the thing is, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is coming to judge them, as the scripture says, in righteousness doeth he judge and make war. Okay, so, with that, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Shalom.